All right, guys, I know it's been kind of quiet on the Palantir front, but I'm telling you, there are some massive things going on in the background that we need to talk about. There's been some big moves going on out there, don't get me wrong, but there is a massive negative that I see coming for Palantir stock. I mean, guys, it's huge and we need to talk about it and we need to discuss it. Does it still fit in my portfolio or not? So let's talk about all that today, and I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too if you want the truth without the hype. And if you don't know how to get a valuation or how to set a price target for a stock like Palantir, or you want to talk to me about Palantir and ask me questions specifically, slide into my DMs, talk to me on the Q&As, whatever the case is, and have access to 5 free courses, the best Discord out there, and just a ton more, just check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. Now, I know before we even get started, it's a divisive stock. I got it. You know, people love it. People hate it. People think Alex banging on a table somehow is the worst thing ever on an earnings call. Other folks think it should be a $50 stock right now, and kind of everywhere in between. It's just, I won't call it to the Tesla level of divisiveness, but it's absolutely divisive as people talk about it. And that's one of the, I guess, one of the fun things with the stock is the fact that, man, you can make a really good bull case for it, and you absolutely can make a huge bear case for it too, and how it's going nowhere as well. Now, the banging of the table, I think, is just silly. Who freaking cares whether or not he bangs the table? However, I can say there's a lot of other things that they do that absolutely upset a lot of folks and are a negative on the stock, and more importantly, on your shares of Palantir stock that you own. But they have been making massive moves in the background this entire quarter once again. And of course, like usual, it's just quiet. They'll just add a contract here, add a contract there. Oh, 500 million, no problem. Oh, 200 million over here, no problem. Oh, this company renewed their contract. This government renewed their contract. And it kind of seems to just work like clockwork. I mean, just Google Palantir deals, punch it in there, and you'll just see, you know, just a little litany of deal here, deal there. They continue to impress on every stage and continue to grow those contract numbers every single quarter like clockwork. And once again, Alex is actually behaving with the media and not acting like a total crazy weirdo guy. I mean, he's had several good interviews this quarter as well. It's literally like they got him a coach or something. And so he's kind of been coached up to kind of, hey, you know, don't be combative and don't be like super secret. He still does it sometimes, but don't be over the top with the secretiveness of what you do and such. And make sure that you actually discuss the actual, you know, benefits of Palantir as a company and what they can do at scale for not just governments, but for business as well. And don't talk too much about the World War III or the doomsday scenarios or all the other things that he kind of tends to go on rants on and such. That way they kind of turn off investors whenever he does that. He's been done much better job of not doing that and kind of focusing on what Palantir can do, how they're better than their competitors, and what they can do for businesses, more importantly, and us as consumers as well, long term, so that way people can kind of see the vision of Palantir and kind of bring those investors in a little bit more, folks that are looking at Palantir but don't have an understanding of it. It's not an easy business model to understand. It's a complex business that does have a lot of secrecy to it, and you need to highlight the goods and the things that you can do commercially and the things that you can talk about. Don't just always go over here to this doomy, doom and gloom scenario that he likes to go on. So he's done a good job with a media tour as well over the past quarter to improve that stance, to improve their mission. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying he's done as great of a job as a lot of other CEOs do or anything else like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it is much better than it was 6 months ago, definitely better than it was a year ago. And that is absolutely going to help us as shareholders. And as we all know, they turned a profit for the first time, and Alex and the team finally decided to flip the lever to make it profitable. Why? I don't really know why they chose this time as opposed to not doing it before, not doing it either, but we've been discussing it for some time, and I've been saying, hey, just by the way they run their financials and by the way they use, accounting principles and things like that, they had an opportunity to turn a profit. They could turn that switch anytime they wanted, and now they've chosen to do that, so that's good news for us as shareholders. But that kind of segues perfectly into the one massive negative that I think is coming for this stock that I want you guys to be aware of, because if you're not aware of it and it happens, there's going to be a freak out. I know there's going to be a freak out on YouTube if it happens. Who knows where else as well, probably in the media and everywhere else, but I know there's going to be a freak out. So I wanted to make sure I made you guys aware of this so that way you had the information ahead of time. And that would be, they're going to report, I think, 1, maybe 2 quarters where they're not going to be profitable. They're going to be negative. We're going to see red there, guys, and it's going to cause a freak out. But before you freak out on me, I understand. You're like, whoa, but Alex said, hey, they're going to be profitable for the year. I know that's exactly what he said. And that's kind of where my problem is, because he said that statement repeatedly. We're going to be profitable for the year, which tells me, why wouldn't he just say we're going to be profitable from here on out? Next quarter, we're going to be profitable. He made a point to just keep saying we're going to be profitable for the year, which tells me they expect to have a negative quarter or two throughout this year. That for the year, they're going to be positive. They're going to be net positive for the year. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to see quarters where they're going to have a negative quarter. And that's going to cause a freak out. And of course, everybody's saying, oh, Alex said this, but now he's lying. And all the other stuff that I'm sure is going to come up. But that's absolutely a fear that I had, not a fear, I guess I shouldn't say fear, that's the wrong word, I apologize. But that's absolutely something that I see coming that is going to be a negative for the stock. We've had a nice little run in the stock here from those lows. It did well after earnings, but I guarantee you if we have negative earnings this quarter, we'll just use that as an example, we're going to see that stock price go down. We're going to see the speculation ramp up that, hey, Palantir was a bust, that was just a fluke, and all the other narratives, YouTube freak out, of course, and every other freak out there in the media. It's going to happen. So the question becomes, is there a place for that in your portfolio? Is there a place for that in my portfolio? I'll speak about my portfolio. I can't really speak for yours, but in regards to mine, is there a place for it? Because guess what? It means we're going to be riding a roller coaster, a Tesla-like roller coaster, where we're just going to see it come up. Alex puts his expectation out there that, hey, we're going to be profitable for the year. To me, everybody's going to misinterpret that. I think they mean they were going to have a negative quarter or two. And if they do, it's going to come down. All of a sudden we're going to lose, 30% on the stock if that happens or something crazy like that. I could see that happening. And so the question becomes, is it right for you and your portfolio? And is it right for me and my portfolio to have another roller coaster ride in there? So the answer for me, and it's very, very clear, is it is for my portfolio because I believe in the vision long-term of Palantir. I think where they're going long-term is absolutely going to pay off. And I don't care about the chaos in between. To me, it's still undervalued. Even at this current run-up, it's still undervalued. And okay, cool. You want to beat it down? Give me shares cheaper. Alex said they're going to be profitable for the year. I trust in that. I think their 5-year, when I just look at the growth rates, although it's not as great as I said it was before, I think I'm going to be a very, very happy shareholder, and I just got to be more patient. And that's kind of the thing I want to talk about with this stock specifically, and owning this stock, similar to owning Tesla, but not quite the same, in a different sense. In terms of eccentric CEO and a roller coaster ride, same in regards to getting some sort of a rocket ship run up. It's not like Tesla in that regard because you got to be patient with this one. This one's going to be a slow grower over the next 3 to 5 years. Now, you may not be willing to wait that much time, and I understand that. I respect that. That may be the best decision for you. But for me, I am patient and I understand the mission and the vision and where this company is going. And I understand it's going to be a long slog to get there, and not every stock 10x's in a 5-year period. However, I don't need something to just run up in order for it to be a great investment for myself personally over the long run. And remember, I always look 3 to 5 years out, and I think I'm going to be a happy shareholder in 3 to 5 years. So for me, I'm going to continue to hold. If Wall Street wants to get dumb because they have a negative quarter, awesome. That means I can add shares on the cheap, which is exactly where I want to be as a long-term investor. And if you don't know how to get a valuation or how to set a price target for a stock like Palantir, or you want to talk to me about Palantir and ask me questions specifically, slide into my DMs, talk to me on the Q&As, whatever the case is, and have access to 5 free courses, the best Discord out there, and just a ton more, just check out the pinned comment down there and see if a membership's right for you. And click this video here if you want to see the 3 stocks I'm buying now, and click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.